issue of creating tension between families. When given lots of homework, a student can't spend as much time with their family, which I know from personal experience can greatly tear a family apart. Because parents and siblings may feel it's the student's fault they aren't participating in family activities when it's actually due to the high amounts of homework. Plus, it's upsetting to most parents that they can't help their child with homework because the curriculum is different from what they had when they were in school. Another issue that we feel homework presents is depriving students of sleep. Many students stay up late to finish an assignment that they were having trouble with, therefore causing students to lose sleep. How many of you guys have stayed up past 10 p.m. doing homework? And there are no studies that show that homework even helps students. So why should students have homework if there's not any significant productivity rate? Besides, even if homework was important for students, they receive way too much. The max amount of homework the student should have is 10 minutes, but most students are working for 30 minutes to an hour. On top of all of that, assigning homework gives students more opportunities to cheat. It's so easy for a student to just text a friend to obtain the answers for an assignment. Yes, we all know that cheating is bad, but do you think that that's going to stop most kids in today's world? I think we all know the answer to that. Then you have the problem of homework making students have bad grades. There are a lot of students who would have straight A's if they didn't have bad homework grades. Homework is what also creates a struggle for teachers as well. Teachers have to curate the homework, then they have to grade the homework, as well as keep track of who actually turned it in. Something I feel that a lot of people don't think about in this argument is how much personal time and extracurricular time homework takes away. At the end of a long school day, students just need to relax, but assigning homework takes away from that time. As far as extracurricular activities go, how many of you guys have something that you do after school, whether it be a club or sport practice? Well, homework takes away from this time, as you all know, and you need time to participate in these activities. Moreover, homework is overall just not good for students, parents, and teachers. One thing that most people say is that instead of doing the just 10 minutes of homework, that each grade should have 10 minutes per that grade. So like kindergarten, 10, first grade, second grade, 30 minutes, so on and so forth. But that also exceeds the time limit that students should be doing homework. Another study that Rhode Island did was to see how many students actually stayed up late at night doing homework. So even though they had the homework, 22% of students said that they'd rather just go to sleep and get a bad grade for the homework than actually stay up and do the homework. Another survey showed that 56% of students said that homework is a primary cause of stress, and only 1% of students feel that homework isn't a stressor at all. The National Sleep Foundation recommends that students get 8.5 to 9.5 hours of sleep per night for healthy adolescent development. On average, students only get about 5 to 6 hours of sleep. And 93% said that it was due to having homework. For the extracurricular activity part,
our opener, you have 5 minutes. When you're ready.
My name is Kyron Johns, and I am talking about why homework should not be abolished. We are here to debate that homework should not be abolished. Many people and students think that teachers give us a whole bunch of homework just for the fun of it. but we will tell you how the amount of homework children get in elementary, junior, and high school can affect what college they get in and how well they do for the first semester and even their child behavior later on in life. First, I would like to point out that a majority of parents believe that their child receives a fair amount of homework. If you say that they receive too much or not enough, most teachers of lower grades assign homework not just for extra practice, but so the parent can have the time with their child and create that bond with their child. And this is usually a learning experience for both the child and parent. Another thing to think about is that different children at different ages benefit from homework in different areas. And my peers will go further into depth with that later in the debate. I feel that homework is very important to the education of students. Tens of thousands of students around the world benefit from homework every day. Because homework doesn't just mean staying up all hours to finish a project due to the next day, because we've all done that one time. It means studying for a test you have at the end of the week, or going over information you may have missed, or looking over that test to see how many questions you got wrong and to see if you can improve your score. This is taking responsibility in other places in school and where it's mandatory. When students do homework, their memories increase and they have a more open mind. My opponent associated homework with symptoms of stress. Mostly homework doesn't cause the stress. Lack of understanding the topic, which comes from the classroom. Yes, it's often hard to find time to do homework, but school is important and is a privilege to have in this country and should be taken advantage of in the best way we can. And my opponent was talking about how sports, like they need time to do sports after school. Well, I think that sports is a privilege and that you should do your homework and be more focused into school before you do any kind of activity or after school sports. Because if you're not gonna get anywhere in sports without having the mind to do smart things. And if you just stay in sports, you're not gonna be able to do anything. Thank you.
Forfeit the rest of your time.
Wait, I have a question. Can I ask it?
Yes.
When you said sports, like schools you come for sports, you're still getting like a good grade because like if you do sports at school, you have to have like a certain grade, so you're still getting your schoolwork done. Like I don't know if that makes sense.
Okay. Well, you can get your homework done just to improve, just to stay in sports, but some people, like me, I would have to do my homework because I would get in trouble if I didn't do my homework before I did sports. Thank you.
Very good. Remaining speeches will last 3 minutes apiece. We're going to move back to the proposition. When you're ready.
The reason why children should have homework is because they don't have enough time to relax in their own homes. If they have any after school stuff, like clubs, sports, anything else, chores, they could miss out on they will even feel more stress on them, and homework even doubles it. Some parents say that they don't spend enough time with their child because that child is at school with a tutor doing their homework. and that child will miss out on so many family time things, such as going out, picnicking. And some children in different states, they even have to do homework in holidays. Besides, when a kid brings back homework, it is probably all crumbled up over it for a teacher. Also, students show that kids should have max 10 minutes of homework. Kindergarten, first grade, second grade kids do homework every single night. Some homework is hurting your learning because you're worried about getting it done instead of taking the time to learn that work. I think we shouldn't have homework because we spend 8 hours at school, so we should be able to go home and relax.
I'm gonna forfeit the rest of your time. Okay? Back to our opposition. When you're ready.
Hi, I'm Alexis, and in this debate, I would like to bring a few facts to your attention. First and foremost, I would like to say that it was proven in a recent study by Harris Cooper that homework doesn't increase a student's IQ. However, it does improve their attitude and increases work ethic for later in life. If children have homework, it will help them become more responsible for their actions. Millions of students in the U.S. never do their homework, and the next day they would usually get a bad grade for not doing what they were given out to do. We all know that things get harder as students get older. Homework can help children understand different subjects. For example, if they are struggling in math, then homework can help explain things to that child and help them learn. If students are not given homework, they will be prepared for college later in life. Homework also shouldn't be abolished because homework can keep you on track of what you're supposed to do. Homework can also help a teacher learn what they can and can't do in school and what they are struggling on. If there was no homework, the teacher can't really learn the area that the student is struggling in. My opponent was saying that it's hard to find time for homework. Also, sports connected at school requires to get good grades and time.
Would you forfeit the rest of your time? Moving back to the proposition.
Yeah.
You have 3
Or
minutes.
you need to go to the office and check out.
3 minutes when you're ready. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Too much homework could cause sleep deprivation, weight loss, and eating disorders. When students get home from 7 hours of school, they want to relax or sleep, but they cannot because they have homework. Studies show that 22% of students fall asleep late at night doing homework, and 80% of students don't get the recommended sleep because they're doing homework. 90% of students getting sleep deprivation because they go to bed late and have to get up early in the morning for school. When students get home, they want to go to sleep and not worry about homework. Some students do understand the homework and do not understand homework and have to stay up late doing it. Sleep deprivation could cause depression. Depression can force unhappiness on them, and they want to be alone. This could also break the family. The family are not always helpful with homework. In today's generation, things are very different. We use computers, not textbooks. Study shows that 46% of parents don't understand this generation's homework. Why is that? Because our parents grew up using textbooks, and in this generation we use computers that help us with everything. Parents are not tell us students how to do our homework or math problems. This is really hard because the students might not get the homework, neither does the parents, so nobody would help them. And maybe they have tons of homework and don't know how to do it and play sports, so they have to figure it out on their own. They might get home too late for a tutor, and tutors might not have the time or the day to do it. Students might have events on weekends, so the tutors have a lot too, so they won't be able to do it on their own. Students need the break.
Like to forfeit the rest of your time?
Sure.
Back to our opposition. So 3 minutes when you're ready.
I much agree with Alexis. We should keep homework. It helps children improve on the subjects they don't understand as well as others. Homework helps improve the children's knowledge. I would like to take it to the student's point of view on things. Of course, no child likes to have homework, but most understand that it's mandatory for students' education. Homework shouldn't be banned, just a lesson, said a sophomore at Booker T. Washington High School. Students of older ages tend to have teachers that expect more out of them than they can give. However, these teachers are preparing you for college when no one is going to go easy on you, and you won't get help on piles of homework. Yes, some teachers could lessen the amount of homework they give, but they also have to have just enough in order to challenge the students. Many students believe that homework is better than schoolwork because it's easier to concentrate in a more relaxed environment. Also, from my point of view, homework helps you on certain subjects. In 5th grade, I didn't understand the work we did, and the homework and tutoring helped me learn more about the subjects in class and increased my knowledge. This opens the mind to learning and being able to focus on new things. Thank you.
Forfeit the rest of your time.
Yes.
Okay, back to our proposition. You have 3 minutes when you're ready.
Homework causes many effects to a child. One of these many effects is stress. Homework stress causes many effects to a student's health, and sadly, it's not uncommon. Homework has also started to stress younger kids, some even reporting to be in elementary. Large class sizes, short break times, and strong pressures to perform well on standardized tests all place students under a large amount of stress. All of these factors make completing homework assignments a dubious task and also a stressful life. Less than 1% of kids said homework was not a stressor. However, 56% indicated homework was a primary cause of stress, and 43% listed tests as a primary stressor. Most experienced distress and or lack time to engage in an important task outside of school. The majority, 72%, reported being often or always stressed over schoolwork. And many reported that they experienced physical symptoms due to stress. 82% reported experienced at least one physical symptom in the past month, with 44% of the same sample experiencing 3 or more symptoms. Overall, students reported getting less sleep than the National Sleep Foundation's 2000 recommended 8.5 to 9.25 hours per night for healthy adolescent development. On average, students in our sample reported 6.80 hours of sleep on school nights, and 68% stated that schoolwork often or always kept them from getting enough sleep each night. Many, 63%, reported that the amount of work they received often or always made it challenging to spend time with family and friends, and a similar percent, 61%, indicated they had been forced to drop an activity they enjoyed because of their school workload. Although students are the main concern, parents are also a factor in the stressful lives of children. Researchers have found that stress and tension for families, as reported by parents, increase most when parents perceive themselves as unable to help their homework. When the child dislikes doing homework and when the homework causes an argument, either between the child and adults or among adults in the household. The number of parents involved in research, 1,173 parents, both English and Spanish speaking, who visited
one of the 27 pediatric practices in the Greater Province area of Rhode Island, makes it more of a guide for further study and databases completion. Is there any questions?
Is there opposition? 3 minutes when you're ready.
I'd like to go further in depth in what Karen said earlier. Students different ages and different levels improve in different ways, meaning that a first grader would improve differently from on different amounts of homework than a 12th grader. In the same study that Alexis reviewed earlier, it was shown that second graders improved the most in math after given homework. Third and fourth graders improved in English. Fifth graders in social studies, and high schoolers in history. Also, seniors in high school improved in Shakespeare, which is a very important which is very important in that age. A way to connect all of these is that they all include a need for memorization at these specific ages. It's proven that homework helps increase memory more than anything else. Students often do better on tests and exams on that topic that week or that semester if they have homework because they can memorize patterns, words, and names. However, homework does not change how much you know in the long run. You're just as likely to forget something you did have homework on as you are to forget something that you didn't. But my opponent said a lot of the same thing when it came to reasons that it should be banned. Homework causes stress, and not many students have time. Those stressful times when you're up late doing homework helps us prepare for college. For example, I have a sister in college, and I see her managing her time very well and getting amazing grades. She was also in the Equine program and a dance teacher, meaning that she had other outside activities, which made it harder to do her schoolwork. How did she learn how to manage time so well? Well, the high school where she went to in Phoenix, Arizona, was not shy at all to give homework. Another reason to keep homework is that it can bring families closer together, as students may ask their parents or siblings for help on their homework. Not only will this help the students get better understanding of their work, any parts they are stuck on, it will also allow parents to get more involved with their children's educational life. Another example of not doing homework is someone that is in college and
Okay, we're going to move on to our rebuttals, starting with our proposition. 3 minutes when you're ready.
Okay, so overall, it can affect students' health in many different ways, and it does sometimes help their time management, but with too much homework, I don't think so. I think it makes them more stressed, like they have to do this for a long time, and then they can do stuff. But then, if their family doesn't know what they're trying to do with their homework, then what happens? They're just push it aside, say ask your teacher. And then what if their teachers just push it aside? And then what happens? The students don't learn. And then, like, I agree with what they said, the opposition of how it should be lessened to about 10 to 20 minutes per night. And that I don't agree with that parents think that it's a fair amount of homework, because I have witnessed other families and my family saying that the amount of homework someone has been given is too much for that certain grade. And it's hard on the teachers to do homework because, as Harvey stated, homework is many times crumbled and ripped and dirty, and you can't really even read the writing. And it's very difficult, and it takes a lot of time for teachers to grade because of how many students there are that teacher can be using to plan the lessons. And if, like I said earlier, if the students don't understand and they're trying to get their parent to help them, if the parent doesn't understand, it could be because they learn different, because they use textbooks and students now use their laptops, and students don't always ask for help. Sometimes they just Google the answer and copyright and just cheat no matter what. And studies have proved that it doesn't even improve your IQ, and I don't see a point in having them. Thank you.
Okay, our final opposition rebuttal.
Okay, are we
About 3 minutes when you're ready.
My name is William McIntyre, and I've taken the initiative of I've gathered a list of reasons, just kind of summarizing everything that we talked about today. One of the most important ones is I heard the opponent say that maybe the parent doesn't know the child's answer to that homework problem, and it really allows the student to help their parents learn what they're doing in school, and it can open up a new way to study. Yes.
How is the student supposed to help the parent learn if the student doesn't even understand the homework themselves?
That's time. It really helps your child to get ready for the next day's class. Homework encourages your child to use time wisely, which, as we all know, can really help you out in college in the long run. And taking time to do homework has been linked to achieving better results in English, maths, and science, according to a major study which has tracked the progress of 3,000 children over the past 15 years. We've all heard the saying, practice makes perfect. Well, homework is pretty much like practice. It can help you be a better student, and you'll do better in class. And of course, you do have the benefit of studying alone, and a lot of students really like that because the classroom can, in some schools, it can be a very noisy and annoying place.